You know, when you're watching a TV show or movie and there's that scene where someone walks into a house party and the night is in full swing? People are coming and going, some are standing around chatting, there's music, the vibe is hot, and it's so busy you don't know where to look. You feel like you just walked into a great night. That is exactly the feeling I had when I stepped into Sauna NZ in Amsterdam. It was happening, and now I was going to be a part of it too. Today's guest is the one making Sauna NZ a scene and the place to be. I'm Patrick Marano, and this is Queerly Us. Before we begin, if you watch Queerly Us, the podcast, and you enjoy these episodes, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Joining me today is a dancer, choreographer, and event producer who's been running the show over at Sauna NZ in Amsterdam for over 10 years. He's Lorenzo Borella. Welcome to the podcast, Lorenzo.
Hello, thank you for having me. Hello.
I have a question before we begin. Sauna NZ. Now, it's not called Sauna NZ. How do you pronounce that word? Because obviously it's been shortened for people like me who don't know how to pronounce it.
We all call it Sauna NZ because it's a bit the Dutch.
Right.
Yeah, but it's okay. NZ is also good. I mean, there are two letters.
Okay.
And it stands for Nieuwezijds. And I know it's difficult. Nieuwezijds, Dutch for, actually it's the address of the place where we are. The address is Nieuwezijds Armsteeg, which is impossible to say.
Yep.
My boss has decided to give this name, Nieuwezijds, Sauna Nieuwezijds, and then it puts into NZ because it's just faster and easier.
For people like me. I want to try Nieuwezijds.
Nieuwezijds, perfect.
Nieuwezijds.
Perfect.
And that's the yeah?
You're Dutch.
I'm Dutch now. I'm Dutch. Well, I was thinking, so you're not originally from Amsterdam or the Netherlands. You're Italian.
I'm Italian, yes. I'm born in Siena, close to Florence. And I moved here when I was 19 to be a ballerina. And 10 years later, everything changed. And they asked me to become the manager of Sauna NZ. And I said yes.
As it does. Well, but you stayed. I mean, the fact is, you're from Italy. You went to Amsterdam and you stayed. So you must like it there.
Oh, I love Holland. I really like the place. Coming from a Catholic place where gays are not really welcomed. I escaped in that period. I mean, we are talking about 27 years ago now. And I found here a place where I could be. I found a man at the time. We married. Stayed together for 15 years. And the whole dream ended with the new adventure with NZ when they asked me to move to Amsterdam. I was studying in Arnhem, close by. Yes, I love it here. The weather sometimes is what it is.
Well, I live in Canada, so you want to talk about weather? I mean, we got weather too, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how it's there, but here it's cold.
Yep. Actually, this winter, because we have this El Nino thing happening, it's been a really mild winter for us, but overcast and no sun. So it feels kind of like London right now, and kind of like misty and like it's so depressing. Like we're going on vacation in 2 weeks. I can't wait. When somebody says they're from Italy, you picture all this like beautiful. I mean, I've been to Rome and Venice and Milan, not Florence and not Siena, but it's so gorgeous and so much culture and food. You think, well, why would you leave? But to your point, and especially 20 years ago, things were just not as progressive, being such a Catholic country, I guess, right?
It's still like this. The Pope still lives in the country, and that you can feel it.
Yeah.
Italy changed, of course. I mean, sometimes, actually, if we look at who is in power now, no, it didn't change at all. It's actually a pretty fascist country, which is going. So no, I'm not planning to go back there. My parents are there. I go there to visit them, but no, I'm really happy to live in Holland, where I can be what I want.
When are we going to kick the Pope out? He should just go live on an island somewhere, no?
I don't know how we should do that, but yeah, like on an island, yes.
Just on an island, you should just go there. So your life really changed when you started working in the sauna. Tell us about your first bathhouse experience. Not even working there, but the first time you went to a bathhouse. Do you remember? Or a sauna. Should we call it sauna since you're in Europe?
Yeah, let's call it bathhouse. Let's call it bathhouse. It's also good. It's like, it was I was in a monogamous relationship for, I think we were together since 8 or 9 years. And when I came back from Italy, he came to pick me up at the airport and he said, like, you know what, we go just to check this place out in Amsterdam. It's called Thermos. At the time was the biggest sauna here. And we just went there. And that was my first bathhouse experience. And from there, I actually got pretty fan of it. So we visited a lot Essen, where at the time was Phoenix in Essen, Köln, other bathhouses in the area. So yeah, that's how it was. And I met my second boyfriend in a bathhouse also.
Oh, see, you can find love in the bathhouse. People don't understand.
I was done with men until December last year, 2022. And I erased all my apps, Grindr, Gay Romeo, all the meeting apps, and I finally found somebody after 4 or 5 months in a place which is also a cruising place. I believe, yeah, you can find love in such a places for sure. Yeah.
What I like about a bathhouse is the honesty of the place. I mean, everybody is there for the same thing. You know what I mean? So if you meet somebody there, obviously you have something in common also. You know, you're sort of cut from the same cloth. You sort of are accepting of a certain type of person who would go to a bathhouse. And then, so you've already got that sort of base for a relationship. I met my current partner in a bathhouse as well.
Yeah, precisely. You know, like then how the relationship develops and which terms you give to it, that's something personal in the relationship. But the fact that you meet in a place where freedom of thinking is already a must, because you just come there. Yeah, well, you meet people of a different level. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just saying closer to my way of being.
Yeah, exactly. They're not better or worse. For me, I don't do the apps either. I don't have the apps on my phone. I'm not interested. It's too much chatting, fake profile pictures. It's just such a waste of time for me. I rather just see you in person, and if we vibe and we connect, then we can go for it. You know what I mean? For me, it's about efficiency. Anyway, you know?
It's also about health. I find people that goes to bathhouses or cruising places are much more aware about their STDs status. They check regularly. And on Grindr, I mean, we're in Europe, we have more Grindr than other dating apps. That's where I probably had an STD every 2 months when I was having dates. Because it's a different secret, it's a different way of dating. There is less care. I have the feeling it's less personal.
There's a lot of misconceptions about bathhouses and sexual health. You know, people think, oh, I'm going to go to a bathhouse, I'm going to get full-blown AIDS. Something. I mean, you can catch anything anywhere. You're not going to catch full-blown AIDS. That's not how it works.
No.
Right. So there's a lot of misinformation and stuff. But the bathhouses that I've been to do outreach. You know, there's outreach for HIV information and sexual health, and they're giving out condoms, and they're providing the information. And does Sauna NZ do anything like that?
Well, I mean, my bosses, which are 3, are Wim, Richard, and Millard. Richard, especially, is an activist in the scene here. He's also Jennifer Hopeless, the biggest bearded drag queen. He's organizing events, and he's the one that always fought for the rights of safe sex, PrEP, informations. In our bathhouse there is condoms and lube in every corner of the place. It has to be on hand reach. You know, you don't have to stop doing what you're doing to go to prevent something. You just have to have it close to you. It has to be there. And also they have it also in Club Church, which is their club, and same honors, same idea, same way of informing people. Often on Sunday, we have also the GGD, which is the institution here which checks STDs and HIV. They come to do tests there for free. So we try to work with all the organizations, let's say. for this kind of thing.
I don't understand what more people want bathhouses and saunas to do. I mean, like, you're providing the tools, you're providing the information. At the end of the day, it's going to be an individual's decision, how they take care of their sexual health and stuff, and it's their choice, what they do. But what else can you do? I know that here they were giving out when monkeypox was a thing. They were giving out like vaccines, and they were and with COVID, they were very following the restrictions and everything. So it's like, what else can you do?
Well, we went through the AIDS epidemic already, so we kind of got Corona and we got prepared. I mean, I think
that's
it
true.
was the most prepared.
We're like, that's it, Corona.
Knowing what to do and not panicking, it was like, come on, guys, this is gonna be easy. Yeah. And it was not easy at the end, but we managed, I think, to follow the rules, to follow the ways in there. And that we do in the same way when there is other, like with monkeypox was the same thing, when hepatitis C also was a thing, like we started to really go for it. And you see that then things are going well again, so. Yeah.
How do you think European saunas are different than North American bathhouses?
I was shocked when I came for the conference this year, because I came also 2 years ago. But there, for me, I was alone, and it was my non-gay travel. I didn't want to have sex. I just wanted to have a good time with myself. So I didn't visit so many bathhouses last time, but this time we did. And there is a big difference. I mean, when I compare NZ with other bathhouses, there is always a big difference. I mean, I just went to Spain. I went there in the bathhouse, and I left after 2 minutes asking my money back because I really found it disgusting.
Oh wow!
Maybe we put the standards very high in NZ, but in America I certainly found the same level of how do you say, of hygiene. Places are clean. But there is a big difference that we don't rent rooms. We have cabins, but the cabins are open for everybody. So you just pay an entrance price, and then you can get the full experiences. And in America, you can have your own private cabin with television, and the prices are going up, and it's a different experience. Which I like it, but it makes it also more difficult to meet people in this way.
It does. They both have their pros and cons. I feel like it's very reflective of the culture. I feel when I'm in Europe, it's so much more about connection and people, and you're out on the street, you're in a cafe, in America, you're in your car, you're going to the club. So it's a lot more singular, and you're sort of in a little bubble. And that's kind of reflected in the establishments. I feel like the saunas are more social. Because you don't have your own room, it forces you to interact with people. Whereas in America, you can just sit in a room.
Same thing. We have a license to sell alcohol. So you have a bar, you have a lounge, which I didn't find there. So it's a bit like where is the meeting point of the place? In every place in America, you have to discover what is the most attractive part of that sauna. If it's the dry sauna, the jacuzzi or whatever. In NZ, the lounge is the main attraction of the place, and it's where everybody meets.
Yeah, it's hit and miss here. Like, some of them do. There's only 2 now in Toronto. Steamworks doesn't have a liquor license, but Spa Access does. So they have a big lounge. That's the meeting place. It's a different crowd, but it's definitely, that's where people go and hang out and stuff. And I think that adds to it,
Yeah, of course it adds to it. Look, I went to Steamworks not in San Francisco, but in
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Yeah.
And it's true, there is no bar, so there is no, but that, and of course there you take away from the expenses, of course, of not having people up behind the bar, but the place is gigantic. It's super clean. I was really impressed by the place. It was really beautiful. Again, you change the way how you get into a place and what you're gonna do there. It's a different experience.
I just had Zos Newell on the podcast, the last episode from Berkeley. So he was telling me all about his space and stuff. And I'm very familiar with the Steamworks here in Toronto. So I think Steamworks as a chain, they sort of not, I don't want to say cookie cutter, that makes it sound boring, but they have a look and a theme and stuff.
Oh,
Sauna,
they're point. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know where you are. You know you're at a Steamworks. At Sauna
Yeah,
NZ, that's a standalone one, right? There's not. It's not a chain. There's not.
no. We are the only one. No, we are.
Yeah.
Every city here in Europe has a little bit. There is not so many chains, I think, in Europe, like in America.
Mm.
We would love to, but until now, we are busy enough with this.
Yeah.
And the owners, they just opened a new place, which is called Free Willy. Free Willy, so it says it already. It's a naked bar. So they went into another experience. They always try to see what's missing in the city and go for it. So a second sauna, let's say a second bathhouse at the moment in Amsterdam is not really a reality for now.
A lot of extra work. Is Free Willy a bar in Amsterdam?
Yes, with a pool.
Okay.
So you can, it's a very nice, cute little place. Yeah.
When I was in those bars in Amsterdam, they all have those back rooms and those like, oh boy. I mean, there's almost, I don't need to go to the sauna really, because these bars are
weird because I was in shock when I arrived to San Francisco, because I understood from Richard, my boss, that everything what we have here, the glorioles, the succatorium, all these kind of things comes from San Francisco. So I arrived, it's gonna be madness here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There was no possibility for sex at all in any of even the Eagle had no dark room. I was about like, okay, this is gonna be a different kind of.
We're not as sexually open as the Europeans here. For some reason, it's not. It's more behind closed doors. It's more like, or if it's during something like Folsom in San Francisco. So if you have a big event, it's like a leather event, and then there's like just sex everywhere and whatever. But I think it's a little bit more compartmentalized, unless you go to Montreal. Montreal is very
it's very open-minded. Okay.
It's very much more European and open-minded, I think.
But I think it's missing something, because also what I noticed often in the bars in San Francisco, that people on an underwear evening still want to go full naked and still want to do something, but it was not allowed. There was big signs of no sex, no. And I was a bit like, but you see the frustration behind the community in a way, because people wanted to.
So I don't know. Is it so it's not maybe the population not wanting to participate? Maybe it's certain laws or
I guess the dating
restrictions
has killed the mood for many years. Has really made a big disaster in terms of also of new generation wanting to open something. What I loved about Kuma in Las Vegas is that he made the decision. He dared to open something that is purely sexual. And I find it a brave move for America. So I really like the idea. And of course, we talked a lot.
It's in Sin City, so it should be. They should have something in Sin City. I mean, like, right. Walk us through Sauna NZ. So for people that haven't been, what amenities do you guys offer there?
Well, excuse me. So we have a capacity of 250 people can come inside. So it's not such a very big bathhouse, but it's always busy. And we have a dressing room. As soon as you come in, then you can enter the lounge from the side of the dressing room, and it's an elegant big lounge. Before we had also a lounge for the kind of a smoking area, which is not allowed anymore in Holland now since 2020 to smoke in public places. So we have to take it out, and it's now part of the lounge. We have not only a bar but also a little kitchen. With a fantastic cook, which makes really great dishes. So you can also eat there. And then from two sides, you can enter the wet area, I would say, or the playing area, which are also communicating in the back. But the wet area is a jacuzzi, a dry sauna, and a wet sauna, you say in English? Or
or a steam room.
A steam room, a steam room.
Yeah,
which is pretty big.
It was.
Showers. Of course, our dry sauna has open windows on the showers, so you can look at what's happening in the showers also.
Yeah,
which is a nice feature of NZ. And all the toilets, of course, they have also a douche system, which is also something I missed in America, which is keeps the place cleaner and it's helpful for the bottoms in between us. Let's say. And then you start going on the other side, and you have cabins, you have slings, you have standing cabins, a succatorium, which are glory holes on the height of the person which is standing down, so the top. A video room and a dark room. That's a little bit in terms of facilities what we have. But I always say the day makes the public, and we have teams almost every day now, and every day there is different kind of people. So the atmosphere changes constantly from Monday to Sunday.
Sure.
But you're more a quiet person and you like more the bathhouse experience, then you should come on a Monday, where we have also the Aufguss, which is a ceremony with essential oils, chocolate scrubs. So it's a more healthy day. Or you can come on a Saturday night where it's the outgoing party mood, and then it's full of young people having a little after.
When I do my reviews of bathhouses on my channel, I mean, it's only from one night that I go. So, I mean, is it fair for me to do a review? I mean, it's just based on one experience, right? So, like you said, it's going to depend on the night. For Sauna NZ, it was a fabulous night. So I did a fantastic review for you guys because I just had the best time. But like you said, I'm sure different nights have different vibes, different people.
Yeah, it's always what I say. It's funny in NZ, people call us at the phone before 12 o'clock, before we open, 12 in the afternoon. And they ask, is it busy, or in the afternoon, is it busy? It's like, what is busy for you? You know, it's like busy. NZ is always busy.
That's right.
Always minimum 50 people inside, 50, you know, like, it's like, so it's a bit like, yeah, but it's busy. You expect it to full crowd, then you have to come on a Friday night, on a Saturday night, and Saturday and the Sundays. You want to meet over a more quiet day, then it's during the week, but quiet means anyway that there is 100 people inside. So it's
that's a hard question to answer if somebody calls. And we always try to discourage that question and people asking, because I mean, what's busy for you? And then anyways, it could be busy, but it could be nothing you're interested in. So who cares if it's busy? There could be 3 people, but they're all totally your type and you're into that, and then it works. So
I always say it takes one.
That's right. You just need one fantastic encounter, and you're just like, thank you. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing about it. Wasn't just the space that I enjoyed. It was also the people. I felt there was a good mix of different kinds of people, and it was a little bit different in the way that they interacted with me also. I felt like there was a bit more openness or an ease to also say yes, but also say no. Which is important, because that's what a sauna is. I mean, you're not everybody is going to spark and be this fantastic encounter. Sometimes you think it's going to be, and then you start and you're like, oh, this isn't clicking or whatever, right?
Well, you know, you're dealing with a lot of aspects of being gay. I mean, how many filters we have, how many insecurities already we have to go through stepping already the door of a bathhouse. But yeah, of course, it's the gay scene. What I think that what happens in NZ is because the atmosphere relaxed is consent is something where we speak always about. I'm somebody, and my colleague also, Alberto, and my bosses, we are also always people that try to encourage communication and talk about things in place of hiding it and doing it behind doors.
Yeah.
So we know our community. I know what people does also in terms of drugs, in terms of alcohol, in terms of, and then at a certain point you go and you start to ask questions in place of just letting it happen and making it a problem. So maybe it's because of that people feel relaxed in NZ, but it's also a Dutch thing. Dutch people are direct. Dutch people are pretty.
Yeah. It's a culture thing, and it could come off as rude.
Yes, very much. They are very cynical. Also, you know, it's a very weird population. I love them, and I learned a lot in terms of for my work. I learned a lot in this way of being direct and being to the point and being real. But it can be rude. It can. Often not rude, but it can come as rude.
Well, they're just telling you. you know,
Yeah.
and we don't do that over here, like especially
No.
in Canada. Like, oh, Canadians are so polite. Well, are they, or are they just being like passive aggressive? And
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's what I
or
mean.
you know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah.
are we just not
Yeah.
saying what we really want to say, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
you suck or no, or you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
True. True.
you
True.
you talked about consent, and actually, I was just at
Mm.
Steamworks not long ago, and there was some consent issues actually that I came across, and I found that um, I came across a couple of people that they crossed the line, and there was not consent happening.
Yeah.
And I don't want to generalize, but they were a little bit older, and I think it's a generational thing as well. I think consent is
Absolutely.
something that's newly being discussed in the gay community and certainly in bathhouses, you know?
I always think that consent goes both ways. You know, of course, there is the no is a no, the yes is a yes. Um, Still, don't forget the environment where you are in. You know, you are
Hmm.
in a bathhouse, and of course, if the person is persisting, and of course, we are the first one to throw the person out. But it's always a give and take. Where it's very important, where consent doesn't be, it's really a main issue is when we have the Queer Wednesday. Before was our Gender Fluid Wednesday. Now we called it Queer Wednesday because it was
Okay.
becoming a little bit too much, too heterosexual.
Okay. Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, you know,
Okay.
and that's a big group of trans women were, of course, coming, and of course, a specific part of a B man little community still has to learn what consent is. So we decided to
Mm.
have a host, trans woman Ariel, which is great in being there and taking the problems in the moment and explaining also to the new people what is going on and what consent is. So we
Mm.
try constantly to also train the public in what actually should happen,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
learn it. And I think the younger generation they sort of are coming with that information already. Like I
Yeah,
think for them
absolutely.
it's more important. The older
Yeah,
generation, it wasn't so much about that.
yeah. Mm. Well,
What?
there is a whole part of the non-binary, sometimes also more asexual community,
Mm.
which is surprising me. We question, can I get prep at the bar, or because I just had unsafe sex, you know? So
Uh,
you're like, there is a naivety also, which is very beautiful to see. But on the other hand, I'm like, hey guys, it's 2024. Let's be aware that things
let's
can
get it
happen.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
information is out there.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
What's your the best part of your job?
Oh. mm,
What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy the most?
I'm always saying that I'm having a dream job because I'm really I do it now. Today, last December was 10 years that I'm doing it since we are open. And the best part is my coworkers, the people that work behind the bar, the people that make the thing happening. I have a very specific relation with each one of them. I like to base everything on respect and trust and freedom. So I want to know who they are, and they have to know who I am. And that challenge is very nice because you don't come only, it's not only you work with somebody that is working behind the bar, but you work with a person that comes with the luggage. Wim, my boss, really taught me this in these 10 years to first learn the luggage that is coming with the person and then uh, get at work. So we have 34 people inside working for us. So
Oh
it's a
wow,
big
that's a
family.
lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's a
people.
lot
And
because you said it. I mean, I've been there. I mean, it's on the smaller side. I do like that it's on one floor. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But you
absolutely.
said it holds 200, 250 people, so that's a lot of employees
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, well, you know, on 250, but for example, on a gay pride, which is on a gay pride Saturday,
Oh,
we have 1,200,
what?
1,600, people passing by.
Inside?
Yeah, during the whole day, yeah.
Oh,
It's always 250, so it's one in, one out.
uh.
But there is a lot of,
Of
and
course.
that's also on a normal weekend. So we have a lot of shifts. We have a lot of people working behind the bar. Yeah, you know, before we had 5 overdoses per weekend at the beginning when we were
Wow.
open 24 hours on 24. Now, finally, we got to one every 3 months. But still, if something happens, our people behind the bar are trained to deal with this kind of situation. So they stay with the person. So you lose right away somebody behind the bar. So we have to have
Mm.
constantly people working for all kinds of situations. It's,
The staff is so important. I've been to places that, you know, physically there were good spaces, but the staff were terrible. And that really
yeah,
makes or breaks the night for a customer like me, but also I
yeah,
can imagine working with somebody like that. We
yeah.
only have like 5 minutes left, but I
Okay.
did want to ask you, who is Lolo Benzina?
Oh my God, it's bitch.
She, that bitch. Who is she? Tell us about her.
Well, it's my drag name. I'm a drag queen. I've been a drag queen. I'm a daughter of Jennifer Hopeless, my boss. And
Oh,
well, Richard is also the one that is behind the concept of Super Bowl, of the Drag Olympics, which at a certain point passed the ideas, passed the concept to me with other people, with Maya and Peter and Franz. We organized this. And it's a drag queen which with a modern dance background, which does performances, but now she's retired somehow, and she
well,
comes.
you told me she was just in Spain doing a show, so she's not fully retired, is she?
No, it's like she's really picky about where she gets
Oh,
booked.
okay.
She's not a RuPaul girl. She's an anti-RuPaul thing, so she wants to be her own boss. And
Gotcha.
no,
So
I have too much work.
I'm well, yeah, you're a busy person anyways. I'm gonna put all of your or any links that you want me to put your socials down
Yeah,
in
you
the
can put all.
description because your Lolo's Instagram is so gorgeous. Like the
Thank you.
makeup that you do is just and I really scrolled all the way back because I was like, when
Yeah,
did the makeup get so good? And then you can
yeah,
see a transition. You can see the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
progression of like when you sort of more started and then you the makeup was good. But some people never get that. Like some
Yeah,
people's makeup just always looks busted. You know, you
yeah,
see some of those Rue
yeah.
girls and they're not makeup
Totally.
artists. And that's okay. They
True.
do other things that are good. But your makeup is on point. Did you
But it
teach
is.
yourself?
Yeah, yeah, it's through
Wow.
tutorials, and but I'm a Capricorn, and that's a little
Oh,
bit the thing.
what does
I
that
threw
mean?
myself in what I've been choreographer for 10 years, and
Ah,
then I've been a manager now of a successful bathhouse, and then I've been a drag queen. I like to throw myself into things fully if I have to do something,
oh.
the skills. So that's the thing. Uh,
Is
Yeah,
so when you do something, you do it full on 100% and you're
yeah,
successful at it. That's what a Capricorn
300.
does. 300%. Okay, I see. So is dancing part of Lolo's shows?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, 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 yeah. Probably if you go on the Instagram account,
Okay,
the last bit, you can see what I've done in Spain. I lip sync, of course, but I don't think that lip sync is an art because it's not my voice, it's not my song. So
sure.
I think you have to put up a show, and yes, dancing is a big part of it, of using
Mm.
materials. I don't know. It's always a bit different what I do.
It's nice to see when a drag queen has a talent. Like I was in Spain, I was in Madrid, in Chueca,
Uh,
and there was a queen in a bar, and what was she playing? The saxophone?
yeah,
She was
that's what I
playing
do.
this. Do you know who that is? She was playing the
No, but
saxophone. It was so
I,
nice because I thought, oh, she has a
yeah,
talent. It's nice to see her on
yeah,
stage doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think drag queens should have an education in something, which is singing, which is dancing, theater, or whatever, But you should have an education. You cannot just it's theater at the end, It's like that's what I believe.
Yeah, oh,
And
I agree
I
too. I
do.
mean, you're going for a show, and it's more than just putting on a costume and lip syncing.
Yeah,
For me, I
yeah,
think, at least
it was-
be a good dancer and
yeah,
be able to do that.
yeah.
Or a lot of them are comedians too, so they have comedy shows and they do stand
But
up
that's what
and.
I mean. There's many facets of
Mhm.
being an artist, but be an artist. It's like don't not only yeah, lip syncing is not an art. So.
There's
I'm being cancelled now, probably.
yeah. You're done. Well, you don't care because you pick and choose.
No,
And Lolo has, risen to the ranks of like she has
yeah,
done her time and she doesn't have
yeah,
to prove anything. And
no,
you
it's
know
true.
what? Either you hire her or you like her or you don't. She doesn't
That's a
care.
little bit the story. She's on the Barbados at the moment, some sipping on a cocktail, so it's okay. She's okay at the moment.
She's fine. What's next for you? Are you going to I saw that the NABA conference is going to be in New Orleans
Yeah.
this
Oh my
year. Do you have
God.
plans
Yeah.
to attend that one? This is for those
Really?
that are watching. I actually met you at the last one in Las Vegas.
I don't know
That's
yet.
where we met. Yeah,
Don't know because
maybe.
Alberto, the other my assistant manager, slash manager of the sauna, also is he never went. He never got the opportunity to go to America. So maybe it would be nice that he does it this time.
Oh yeah.
There is also the Bathhouse Conference in Europe, in Portugal. So we are trying now to understand who is going where and when and why. because of course.
Well, you know, Lorenzo, I reached out to them and I told them who I was, and I never heard back. So I was like, I want to go to Lisbon, and never heard back.
Oh,
So
wow.
they don't care about me,
Really?
obviously. That's fine. I'm not going to
Did
take
you
it
talk,
personally.
did you talk with Tim directly from Berlin, or did you talk with?
I don't know who. I don't know. I think I just went to the website and just sent like a generic email. So if you know people, pull some strings for me.
I will
Okay.
send you your number. Yes.
I could literally speak to you all day long, but unfortunately we have to go. Lorenzo, thank you so much. I had such a great time. I'm going to put all of your socials, everything down in the description for people to find you. And also, guys, if you're in Amsterdam, you need to go to Sauna NZ. Honestly, it's an amazing place. Thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And for the rest of you, I will see you in the next episode of Queerly Us.